also it's kind of cold and windy this morning. I was very tempted just to drive on to a first truck stop, get a coffee and something to eat there, but I said no. I gotta remember, I got all the time in the world. Got all the time in the world, and no reason not to take my time and make myself a breakfast. And Dolly is on the lookout for squirrels. Right, Dolly? Good boy. Day 2 begins. Heading towards Colorado Springs. Between here and there, there's really no good way to get there except on this interstate. It's not a tollway, but it is an interstate. But, you know, it's Kansas. Not much to see here anyway. Getting off this interstate is too damn boring. Get off, there's a small road that more or less parallels this interstate and takes me through some small towns here in Kansas. Let's see what those are like. Not in any hurry. There's absolutely no way, no need to be on the interstate. This is better. I just like this better. Russell, Kansas. Talk here pretty soon about intentional living, and this is one example. I could be over there on the interstate driving 65, 70 miles an hour, straight shot, not slowing down for towns or anything else, but I prefer intentional driving on a road like this. It all fits in to my philosophy of intentional living. Okay, so what I'm trying to achieve in this trip is a higher level of intentional living. I achieved a little bit of that 6 years ago or so when I moved out of an apartment, retired and moved into my motorhome and started living in that. But this trip is forcing me to achieve it to a much greater extent, and by forcing, it's not involuntary. This is part of the reason for this trip, is to achieve what I refer to as intentional living. So what exactly is that? It's kind of hard for me to explain, I think. unintentional living. You get up in the morning, you go downstairs, and your coffee is already made. You throw a breakfast bowl in the microwave. It's ready in 3 minutes. Easy living. Intentional living is not easy. And this trip is definitely not going to be easy. How do I explain it? Well, like this morning, I could have gotten up and just driven to the closest rest area, truck stop, gone inside, bought a breakfast sandwich and a coffee, and been on my way. Instead, I unloaded everything I needed from the car to go walk over to the picnic table, cook sausage and egg, make my coffee. It took almost 45 minutes to do that, and a lot of effort. So that's the difference, in a nutshell, of unintentional and intentional living. Breakfast sandwich and a coffee at a truck stop, or cooking breakfast on a picnic table in a rest area. So as I said, that's one of the purposes of this trip, is to achieve a higher level of intentional living. And it's unavoidable when you're doing a trip like this and living in your car. But I hope that even after I finish this trip and get out of the car, I can still maintain that. Definitely part of it is a slower lifestyle. Now, you can have a real slow lifestyle, but it's definitely not intentional living. If you're just lounging by the pool all day and drinking margaritas, which are brought to you by somebody else, that is not intentional living. But I have time. All I'm doing basically is waiting for it to be over. So take the time, put in the effort. Thought about describing it as purposeful living, but that's not really the case. It's not purposeful. I don't have a purpose. I don't have a purpose in life anymore, except to enjoy it and learn and discover as much as possible. Take care of Ollie. I want to make sure you understand. I'm not placing any value on intentional living over unintentional living. I'm not saying that intentional living, as I define it, is better. It's just, I think, in the time I have left, it's how I want to go through life, if at all possible. Hey, come on. Really neat place in Hayes, Kansas. Let's go see. Come on. So what's Ollie looking at? Come on, let's go see. Let's go see him. It's okay. Come on. What do you think of those things, Ollie? You never seen anything like that, have you? Couple of, what the hell are those blonde? I've never seen a blonde buffalo before. Oh well. Okay, come on. All right, come on. Let's go.
Killed. I've heard that black regiments have fewer disciplinary problems, lower desertion rates, and higher re-enlistment rates than white ones. But we get inferior.
This is the guardhouse. So after leaving Fort Hayes, we're moving into the town of Hayes. Whoa. Fort Hayes State University here. Wow, pretty nice. Big swimming pool complex. It's a university town, so that's what makes it such a nice one. Cold Stone Creamery. Patio. Nice. 8th Street. We must be on Main Street. Yep, we're on Main Street. We'll go down here a little ways and then come back. Nice little town, even if it is in the middle of Kansas.